So, it's time to a little bit concentrate on something. Whoa, what is it? A brilliant amount of the different graphics card around everywhere. Alright, what kind of graphics card are there? Yeah, I said it. 90 Blola, Arrow, Williams, McLaren, Tyrrell, McLaren, McPherson, Benetton, Ferrari, Dallara, Laro, went to Lola, Benetton, Williams, McLaren. So did McLaren get winning on the Grand Prix of the Monte Carlo years after years, and then they lost about the winning there for a couple years, and so on. So Monte Carlo and the top 6 drivers have been in this the book, and I just began to their last bites in this video for unknown reason. Oh yes. Okay, as I was saying, how much time would I have to make all the videos of the world? Is it true that there are only 5, not even that amount of the time? I will be say just only 1 minute of the video per every person I produce it. I mean, it's pretty brief time. Myself, I won't be that much. There are some people who can get even 100,000 video hits in the biggest video sharing sites. Single person name. But remember, there is some name like a John Walker example of the name, with pretty simple English names and usually person of the America. This kind of the person, people can have pretty much amazing amounts of the hit just because there are so many other people who are named by the same name, and that doesn't necessarily mean that every persons are actually the same. But there are also, but usually in the 99% of the cases, if you take one name and usually get only one person, whatever the celebrity is, the most famous and most popular guy, and you always will find a lot video hits of this guy. You will always want to print yourself, everybody you know, your parents, family, and I mean siblings, but also other friends you know, the working employers, and whoever you ever care about some persons, the people who ever met, and so you will be searching the names from the internet. Usually it has nothing to do with this video what I'm here showing. But what I'm meaning of this, what I'm speaking is how much is really important to understand a couple of the principles of the popularity, and how much really internet has been used per persons. I mean, you will be asking, but the internet is still in the early age. What is taking time? Let's take a newspaper. Newspaper has not existed over 150 years. Okay, that's a circle down. Remember, the newspaper popularity have been peaked. It's depending a lot what country we talking, but I always talk about a global phenomenon. And the global the phenomenon have peaked on this kind of the media. The newspapers in the Western countries in the 90s, 70s, 90s, and the 1970s already television began to gain a lot more ground, but there still was a lot amount of newspaper, and even through the 70s and 80s and 90s, the newspaper very much kept the same status that they ever have been in the peak in time. But in the 2000s, now the electronic media, when the internet breakthrough in the 1970s, and very ultimate over the 2000 millennium, which is absolutely the information era and digitality and all the era, the beginning, the analogical television signals, and all of the things have been changed a lot. We have still, of course, the traditional newspapers, radio, television, but they have get so much new opportunities to people to gain information and to share of those information and knowledge too. Done to the traditional media. Internet, of course, internet, if I will be say 1 day is long time, or to 1,000 years long time, we will have a lot different things. The question here is not over relativity, but what is really existing right now. And this media, what is the really internet, you just can imagine how different present something can be changed. And that's meaning that you can always have some new solution in the next moment. Whenever those moments are coming, they are always, of course, depending a lot on who are done to them. Alright, once again, nothing to do with this photograph, but what is it to enjoy something like this big book, the photo books? I mean, people doesn't want anymore buy the traditional textbooks, but just having text, I mean, the texts are readable anyway, so you will be really not pay a lot of money to them. You can have, of course, those interesting stories, a lot of other things, but they're pretty much cheap, pretty light the internet. Let's take in about the, because the internet, of course, understandable, is so superior almost any single ideas to any other medium. Let's talk about the internet. It's unbelievable. There is no printing cost at all, so it's only electrical cost here coming. Of course, you need the same workers still making those reports and news. Then you will be newspaper, but you will, for example, if you have a very big tissue, an amount of the people who has those things like every issues are going to get, so you will have to print one newspaper even to the couple million people and a household, couple million household, a single newspaper every day. And that will be depending, of course, newspaper will be 50, 100, 200 pages, whatever it is, but usually it has newspaper, of course, different kind. So it's very stupid to talk about your newspaper when there is newspaper in my hand right the moment, but still it's still have a lot to say that the cost to printing only one single day to couple millions must be quite enormous. And that's to just talking about the huge enormous cost. It can be couple 100,000, so it will be some 20, because the biggest cost here is just printing cost and deliverance cost. Remember, every this have to the single deliver still. So how much work is a cut when the delivery and the publishing cost are taking good down. The delivery cost might be 40% of the whole cost, and then it just might be also 40% the cost be the printing cost of this newspaper. So we have 80% of the price cut down to the internet, with this unbelievable emergence to any medium, a channel. And the people will be love, of course, now the electronic media to just having the television by the video newscasting. Not reading but listening. People still, of course, love reading, depending, of course, the person and the tradition and the papers. And of course they can read the internet, the news pages and the sites. Of course, IRC still a tradition of very much importance, and so many guests. They can, of course, read it, normal magazines, anything, but the changing is here just only economical cost efficiency, and a lot of works can also cut by this. Less and less people need to do the same jobs times and times again, and traditional way like a post and mails have a replaced by emails. So if you have ever been some post officer or some have a private post company in some country, usually it's very much on the national control post, because it's pretty understandable that the post usually is also very important as a private at the medium channel and to change the information to the citizens, and that means it's very needed to be regular every weekdays, the 5 times usually a day. On the Western countries, the mail are carried to the households, into every places, to every citizens. to every, and those meaning that this have been now all of the cost go to a, so the different now to the tradition from an information changing, it's now to getting good changing. So the post companies are now more changing of the goods like an email, eBay or something, just kind of the postage and a huge package, and they are now to the international global level to the packets, electronic stuff and all their trade, all this kind of things, much more now to the percentage than to just some cards or the newspaper or other things what they are usually the post office or at the later carry on.